everyone and welcome back to my channel on this glorious sunny day. I'm Sophia and today I thought I would give you a really quick video on just 5 quick easy tips for using a rotary cutter. Rotary cutters are my absolute favourite sewing tool. Not only are they fantastic for cutting quilting pieces, but they're also great for cutting jersey and stretch fabrics because you don't move the fabric as much. In this video I have pinned a pattern piece to my jersey to show you, but I do still recommend having pattern weights. I've just left all my pattern weights at the unit, so I can't really get them until I go back and fulfill orders this week. So if you have a rotary cutter, I definitely recommend investing in some really nice pattern weights, or you can just use weighted items around your house. And actually some of my favourite pattern weights we have in the shop that I use a lot in the sewing school are the ones that my mum made. Some of you might have seen them. They were just nuts and bolts nuts, giant heavy ones that mum crocheted around them to make them look pretty, and they were really easy to get from a DIY store, and then she just crocheted around them really simply with some recycled wool, so easy peasy and very, very cheap. So yeah, pattern weights and a rotary cutter are your best friend for sewing stretch fabrics. They are also very, very useful for cutting really fine silks, slippery, sort of micro satins, that sort of style, because again you're not moving the fabric as much. You can just weigh it down and then slowly cut around them. So I just thought I would show you 5 little quick tips to get you started with a rotary cutter if you've just got one, or if you're thinking about getting one, hopefully it will give you a bit more confidence to go out and get one and give one a go. So enjoy. Okay, so tip number 1 is to always have the blade closest to your pattern piece. I find this a lot easier and a lot more accurate to cut around, and then you have more vision because the blade is always towards the pattern piece, and then you can move around the table or change the direction of your fabric to make it easier for you to see, but this side of the blade should always be touching your pattern piece. My second tip is with curves. So when you're cutting curves, I tend to start cutting, and again with your rotary cutter, if you ever struggle with a rotary cutter, you're putting pressure down onto the blade, and your blade shouldn't be too tight, so it should be able to move freely. And when you come round to a really sharp corner, I always tip my blade upright so that the handle is going more towards me, and I tend to find that is a lot easier to help me cutting around the curves than if I try and keep my handle flat. I turn my handle upwards. My third tip for straight lines is to use a ruler. You want to put your ruler against the straight edge of your pattern piece, and then again blade towards your ruler, even pressure downwards, and basically the ruler is giving you that lovely neat straight line. My fourth tip, that seems quite an obvious one, always cut away from your body. If you tend to do things towards you, you're standing in the wrong direction, or you need to turn your fabric a different direction. If you're cutting towards you, you have more risk of slipping and then injuring yourself. The same goes for your other hand. If you are supporting, always try and move away from your hand or parallel to your hand. Don't start cutting curves towards your hands. It may seem very, very obvious, but it's very easy to do if you're rushing and cutting things out quickly. And I have seen some quite nasty injuries from rotary cutters into hands, and they take a while to heal because the blades are very, 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 very sharp. My last tip is about blades. If you are finding that your blade is skipping a few stitches or a few fibres as you're cutting, like mine is actually at the moment, it may need replacing. Blades are really, really easy to replace. There's a screw on the back where you tighten or loosen the blade. You just completely unscrew that, flip this component off, and then you'll be able to slot a new blade back on. Always dispose of your blades in the best way possible. I always put them back into the packets, and then I have a sharps box that you can ask your local pharmacy to get rid of them for you, or keep them in a drawer very, very safely. But please don't put them in your bin as they are, because they can really injure someone. Okay, so I really hope you enjoyed that video. I know it was really quick, but I thought hopefully there would be some really good tips in there if you are new to using a rotary cutter. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you have any further questions about anything I spoke about in the video, then please comment below. I am happy to answer anything. Just so that you all know, I do highly recommend the Fiskars range of rotary cutters. This isn't sponsored in any way, they don't advertise with me, whatever. I am just a bit of a Fiskars snob, and I love the quality of their products and the quality of their blades in all their scissors. And I've found that the Fiskars rotary cutters are the best, and their blades are very, very good, very, very sharp. They last longer, they're strong, and they're not that expensive. This is a really nice, pretty rotary cutter, but I sell the basic Fiskars rotary cutter in my shop, and I think they're only about £12. So they're really, really affordable. And the blades, when they need replacing, I think work out about £6 each. So yeah, they're just a fantastic investment, and I highly, highly recommend. So yes, thumbs up, comment with any questions, and I will see you again soon for another video. Happy handmade, everyone!